Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. I'm very happy that Matthew Perry finally getting exposed as a abuser of people, of women, and because I don't want to see him in any more projects. I'm done. The Daily Mail ran an expose the other day on Matthew Perry. You're canceled, buddy. You're done. I don't want to see Matthew Perry in anything. And they finally had the guts to run an expose on Matthew Perry. They were like, hey, you've gotten away with it for too long. He was very cruel. Matthew Perry assaulted women, including his ex-fiancée. Friends actor hurled a table at Molly Hurwitz after she confronted him about cheating, and threw his live-in sober companion against the wall. Well, fuck that shit. I don't want to see him in anything. I'm telling you, I will not, if I see Matthew Perry in anything, Netflix, HBO, Apple, Amazon, after this article came out, which is dated January 10th, 2024, after this article about Matthew Perry, I do not want to see him in anything else. I will not watch it. I cannot separate the art from the artist anymore. So I think he better stay in his house, and it probably has a hot tub, and he should stay there. Just stay in your hot tub, sir. You're not allowed in front of my eyes anymore. I love this, by the way. I love there's something so great about going after the dead. This guy's a junkie who the last few years of his life were terrible, and he died, and absolutely no one revered this man. Everyone, when he died, was like, yeah, he had a rough go of it. The best thing that was said about this guy was Lisa Kudrow going, I might adopt his dog. That was the best. That was the closest anyone got to saying anything nice about. I didn't see really anything nice being said. He was a junkie. He had a rough go of it, and he died. And then the Daily Mail had to go and dig. They had to go and dig. Can you imagine being the writer of that piece who had to call up everybody and go, hi, I'm writing an article about Matthew Perry. You want to go on record? I'm writing an article about Matthew Perry. Yeah, the one they just put in the ground. I want to expose him. I'm happy that the Clintons are on vacation. I'm always happy that people that need to get away. I'm always happy when my friends call me and they go, I'm on vacation, I'm happy for them. I go, good. People work so fucking hard. If you have the time, get away. If you have the time. If you have the money, if you can do it, get away. Get away. Get out of there. Bill Clinton went down to Mexico. He went to a luxury resort. The governor of California, also another hard worker. What is the deficit? $68 billion? Mm-hmm. We're in $68 billion in the hole. Stressful. So the president of the ex-president of the United States, Bill Clinton, and Gavin Newsom went down to Mexico to hang out. They went to a cool resort, and this was like, because the president had a rough week with the Epstein docs coming out. And, Bill Clinton's old now. He's been like a vegan for a while. He's not, I don't know how good his heart's doing. He's not out there fucking the way he used to be. He's not on the prowl. This was a man who was on the prowl for the majority of his life. It was what pushed him forward. He became a governor and the president because he wanted to fuck, and he can't do it. And all this information has just come out. And he's at the end of his life. How old is this guy?
Clinton has got to be.
He's old, this guy. He does not look great. Mm-hmm. He does not look great. Hillary is up there. They're old. I remember when they were like young and He's 77, Clinton.
Yeah.
Hillary is 76. George W. Bush, 77. I grew up with these people. I grew up with this gang. President Clinton, he had some, he took a couple of L's last week. But he looks happy. There's one thing about it, people that are in the closet, when they're out of the closet, are happier usually. People that are, have a secret are a lot happier when the secret is out. There's kind of a weight that has lifted off them, and they just go, yeah, it is what it is, And I think the Epstein docs for him were kind of like, so what? Now it's out. Now it's out. Do your worst. I'm 77 years old. Do your worst. So what? I went to a pedophile island, and I palled around with a guy who trafficked young girls, and I probably had sex with many, many of them, and maybe some of them got killed. But on the flip side, I reformed welfare. I did that. Remember the jobs? They were good, So he's basically like, it's a mixed bag. And Gavin Newsom, right after the ex-president is, implicated in all this Epstein shit, Gavin Newsom decides, let's go, because Gavin Newsom likes fun. He likes fun. It's a quick private jet ride down to Mexico. He's him and his wife, Jennifer Sybil Newsom, who, by the way, testified in the Harvey Weinstein trial. Remember that?
Yeah.
And didn't she describe his penis? Right?
Yeah, she did.
So the Gavin Newsom's wife, the first lady of California, who testified in the Harvey Weinstein trial and described Harvey Weinstein's penis, is now palling around with Bill Clinton, who was on the human trafficker's jet 27 times and is mentioned 50 times in the deposition. So here's what I mean by that. If you can't read between the lines there, Newsom and his wife, they're completely comfortable with sex offenders and people that have committed egregious sexual crime. They have no problem. There's no, they're not uncomfortable. I guarantee you they're not uncomfortable. Newsom's wife is not uncomfortable. She is having a ball. They're drinking. They're telling them how to be them. The Clintons are telling them, here's how to be us. Here's how you got to do it. Today's day and age. I would love to be a mortar and pestle of guacamole sitting at the table, listening to this crime family give the last bit of wisdom. This is all they have left. At this age, the only thing they have left, they can't come anymore. They don't have that much power, right? They're just bags of dust. The only thing they have left is to talk. The only thing they've got is stories, and they want people to listen to them. This is everybody at that age. Once you get up into the octogenarian years, when you're in your 80s, you don't have anything left except to tell people tales, because you're about to bite it. And the only thing you have left is to tell those who are coming after you the things you've learned on your journey. And Bill and Hillary Clinton, this is a big vacation. Mm-hmm. Historically, and people don't realize this. People, because the New York Post is reporting it, and the New York Post is something that, most people don't respect, and nor should they, even though I have friends there. But the New York Post, and it's kind of a salacious tabloid story, right? They're like, look at Gavin Newsom hanging out with the human trafficker, and sure, to that end, sure, report it. But this is the standard bearers of the Democratic Party, which is the Clintons, are telling Gavin Newsom and his wife how to become the new power couple because the Obamas can't do, the Republican Party's in utter disarray, meaning that there's infighting in the Democratic Party as well, but both political parties are fucked. The Republican Party, you have the Wall Street types, they want like Nikki Haley. You have like, the MAGA people for Trump. I don't know. I don't know who's wants Vivek, but I guess people on Reddit maybe. But this is the Clintons telling the Newsoms, and what a great dinner. Because, there's Bill's really just saying, listen, I let it get away from me. There's a beach walk with him and Gavin. There's a beach walk with him and Gavin, right? Because they're kind of a similar guy. Gavin's like a fuck boy. You know what I mean? He was married to that chick who's now dating Trump Jr., Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom.
Yeah.
So Gavin's like kind of a pretty boy. Bill, they speak the same language. Hillary does not speak the language of Harvey Weinstein's testifying about the penis woman. Hillary doesn't speak her language because she's like a real wife. Hillary was never a real wife. Hillary's like a fucking, Hillary is a problem, and she wants her own thing. And this bitch, so when her and Hillary have to talk, Hillary's not really excited by that. She probably is. But Bill definitely does a beach walk with Gavin where he goes, hey, it got away from me. And just, you got to be careful out there because it's not like it used to be. This is a different world now. Can you imagine just Bill Clinton, at the end of it being like, hey, listen. And like he definitely says to Gavin, like he goes, they're trying to say that I was like doing stuff on Epstein's Island. And Gavin's got it, like looks at him strangely. And Clinton's like, can you believe that? Like they're trying to tie me into that. Mm-hmm. And Gavin's like, Clinton's like these QAnon types. They're trying to tie me in to this Epstein stuff. That's how perverted these people are. It's how sick they are. And Gavin's kind of like going like Gavin's face kind of like, yeah, no, these people, man, they'll just, they don't care about the truth at all. Bill's like, right. It's insane what they're doing. And they're having a little beach walk. And Bill's a really smart guy. So Bill's not out there. Like, people think that Bill's probably like, and then I'll fuck this one and that one, and then we drown one of them. Like, they're not doing that. He's like setting it up. So he's telling Gavin, like, they're lying about me. They're going to lie about you. This is what they do. They lie. And you have to get one step ahead of their lies. That's where the fun comes in. That's where the fun comes in. Because Bill's like, yeah, you got to go one step ahead of their lies because they're going to make up a bunch of shit about you. They made up a lot of stuff about me and Hillary. They never stop. Because the Clintons are boomers. So they're the victims. The Clintons are there only to complain to Gavin and his wife about how badly they've been treated by now, by the way, much like boomers, they haven't been treated barely. They should have both, for what they've done, been hung, but nobody's done that to them. They're not in jail. Any other people that, did the things they did would probably be in jail. They've actually been treated pretty fucking well, like most boomers. But the Clintons are, at the very heart and soul of them, aggrieved boomers who are telling Gavin Newsom and his wife, who described Harvey Weinstein's egg penis. I can't stop saying that because it's funny. Or I forget, it's not an egg, but it's got gangrene, his gangrene penis. And they're just complaining. The whole trip is there's some laughing and there's some, keeping it light. But the whole trip is just the Clintons complaining about how bad, and Hillary's like, and they went at me. They never stopped. From the minute I raised my head, I became the symbol of everything that they hated about women and about feminism. And, you know, Gavin and the wife are sitting there and they're having some tequila and drinking a Don Julio Blanco. And they're like, yeah, no, we saw it. You guys were just, sure, Bill's not perfect, but they never stopped her. And it's annoying. You know, they're just, the Newsoms are sitting there, but the Newsoms are sucking it all up because the Newsoms are like, how do we convince the country that we're not going to, you know, fuck everybody over? How do we do that? And Newsom's not Clinton. Like, Clinton's really good, or he was really good. But I would just love to be sitting there and listening. It's 90% the Clintons complaining, 90%. But then there's going to be 10% like, here's what you got to do to get the things you want. And that would be the interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the people to talk to. These are the guys that have to like you. Here's the way it works. You know, you need a bigger war chest than you used to. You know, why do we really think Hillary lost? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But a lot of it is just complaining. It's probably very boring. It's actually not. People think it's like sexy and lurid and cool and wow, what's it like? What it really is just an old boomer couple complaining because they're just boomers, by the way. I mean, maybe he fucked a bunch of teenagers. He probably did. I would bet money that he did. And maybe she's like a lesbian or something. I don't know. She doesn't seem to love cock, but I don't know. So maybe they lived a lot. But how many boomers did that? Tons. They're just boomers. They just got involved in a bunch of shady deals. They don't care about anyone but themselves. Their entire lives were about advancement. And now they've got nothing left except to bring... And Gavin and his wife are idiots. They're dumb people. They're stupid people. Gavin's an idiot, and his wife's an idiot and a whore, seemingly. I don't know. And I mean, I hope nobody finds any of this disparaging if anyone plays this. For people play things sometimes for people. But Gavin's an idiot, and his wife is kind of an idiot whore. From what I gather, I don't know them, but this is what I gather. And people that I know who know them, this is what they believe. Gavin is like a silver-tongued, smooth-talking person, but he has no depth. He's as deep as a puddle. There's nothing there. He's incapable of summoning, and he's really just like, and the way that he's been able to run California is because people here are stupider than they are in other places. So because he is good looking and presentable, because the people here are dumb, they are unable to, they can't, they look at him and they go, he's probably telling some kind of truth, but he's an idiot. So, and Clintons, they know that. They're looking at them and they're going like Hillary says in the hotel room, she's an idiot whore. She goes, she's a dumb whore. I mean, she's dumb. And Bill goes, yeah, I don't know if they have it. I don't know. And Hillary's like, yeah, I just don't think they have it. And Bill goes, he's got potential. Bill goes, because Bill likes him. Because Bill likes him for the same reason that Bill likes anybody. He sees parts of himself in Gavin. Gavin's a striver. He's a liar. He's probably fucks a lot. Like Bill likes that. Bill goes, I think he's got potential. And then Hillary's like, yeah, but I worry about her. What would be great is if the Clintons decided to kill them. Like if they just killed them and then that was it. Like if the Clintons just decided to poison Gavin Newsom, and for what I don't know even why they would do. I recorded a Patreon episode years ago. It's called Bill and Hill's Last Kill, about how there will be a time when they just have one more kill. That's it. There's like one more guy to get rid of, but there's no reason to kill these people here. But it would be fun. There'd be something beautiful and Shakespearean about Newsom and the wife going to get the secrets from the Clintons, and the secret's going, and here's the biggest secret, and then Gavin and his wife dead in the guacamole, poisoned. That would be great. Like the Clintons laid it out, told them how they did everything, told them everybody they made disappear, everything. They just unburdened themselves. They're about to die. They completely unburdened themselves in this legendary dinner. They're drinking fucking tequila and they're just, spilling their guts. Spilling it because they need to. And then they just poison Newsom and his wife and kill them there. And go, we're glad we got that all off our chest. But it's not going to be that. That would be beautiful and Shakespearean and great. But it's not that. It's Clinton complaining. He's talking about the benefits of veganism. Like it's not what you think it is. It just kind of sucks. Like I was reading this article about Skull and Bones, and Skull and Bones sucks now. Skull and Bones used to be like, the leaders of America. It's still that, but everyone sucks because they're doing like diversity, equity, and inclusion in the Illuminati in Skull and Bones, which used to be just let's get a bunch of people that show that they can carry on the tradition of being a sociopath. That's what Skull and Bones is about. Mm-hmm. It's like finding rich people that have a skill set that makes them look like maybe they can be sociopaths. And it's at Yale University. The CIA started. It was taken right out of Skull and Bones. Okay. So many bonesmen have risen to positions of prominence and power. The presidents, CEOs, we get it. A lot of white guys. They would jerk off in the coffins. It was very like Nazi. I think George W. Bush stole Geronimo's skull and it was in the tomb. And there's all this secret shit in the tomb. And now it's like they're annoying now. Now it's like they're annoying. They literally in the Skull and Bones tomb like took down all the pictures of the old white guys because it was not diverse. Can you imagine getting into Skull and Bones, the most elite sanctum, and then going, God, does this suck? I mean, it is like, and by the way, they don't take whites anymore. They're not taking a lot of white people. They take like only a few whites. They take a lot of minorities who are the first person in their family to go to college. This is what Skull and Bones is doing. The first generate, it's insane. Like someone that gets tapped. The way Skull and Bones works is when you're a junior at Yale or something, you get tapped, or maybe it's seniors. Seniors get tapped into it. What, I don't know. I'm not in it. Okay? And that's not where the real power is anymore. The power is not in that. It's not these people at Yale anymore. And we'll go into who it is, but they have some of it, but they're losing it all the time. But you get tapped into this. And then you got to go through this initiation. And then you're in this thing, and it's all like people that are annoying now. Except they want all the benefits of that power structure. They want to get jobs. They want to make lots and lots of money, but they want to like go like fuck these colonizers. But they're in the thing. They're like in the thing. They just want to they're like, we're going to make this elite society of rich people good. We're going to make it good. This is how stupid our political realities are at the moment. This is how these kids' brains have been melted. They're in this inner sanctum. They call it a tomb. It's like the tombs, right? And they're there and they're going, we want to be elite, rich people that cover each other's backs, but we want to we want to make it good. We want to do it for the right reasons. And it's like the most psychotic thing. And by the way, you read about all these other societies where they all go, we're going to give all the money back to New Haven. They don't do any of that. They just hang out. They're college kids. I don't care how smart you think you are, you're an idiot when you're 18. You're an idiot. You're all idiots. You're all fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck how smart you think you are. You know nothing of anything. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs, is bringing you an offer that'll help make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. I mean, that's great. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Tim Dillon. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Tim Dillon. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. And I know you people are out there going like, yeah, but they got into Yale, Tim, and you dropped out of Nassau Community College. Okay, yeah, but I'm in Santa Barbara a lot, aren't I, faggot? So what happens to these people are at the peak of their idealism, and they're going into these old institutions that are, yes, of course they're racist and all the ists. Of course, it's this fucking skull and bones society. And all these people go in there and they all have this idea that they're going to be different. They're going to change it. They're going to use it for good. I'm using skull and bones for good. But they all just become rich pricks. That's all it is. That's all skull and bones is. You just become a rich prick. I don't care that you're a biracial, bisexual, non-bi. It doesn't matter. You'll be all of those things in addition to being a rich prick who's trying to get ahead based on the fact that you know other rich pricks is what it is. And I'm not even hating on that. There's just such an insane, instead of just scrapping it, just scrap it. Just get rid of it. If you really don't like it, don't be in it. Say no. When they tap you, go, no, not for me. I'm going to do it on my own. But none of these scumbags want to do it on their own. You know, like people like me or Trish Paytas have done. But none of these scumbags want to do it on their own. They all want the fucking benefits of being in this little cabal. But they just want the cabal to be arranged around the things that they think are more altruistic and better things. It's so fucking stupid. Message me if you're in Skull and Bones, by the way. It's hilarious. It's not elite anymore. No one cares, you fucking losers. No one cares, you broke hoes. No fucking Skull and Bones people. Very few of them can afford shit. I talk to the biggest realtors in the country. None of you can buy shit. You get nothing. Some of them, a few of them. But a lot of them, they have nothing now. They have nothing. I'd rather join a Chinese secret society. My godson will join a Chinese secret society, okay? He will join fucking Scroll and Wonton or whatever they have. He will not join this shit. Can you imagine? You're in the Skull and Bones tomb and these idiots start talking about fucking, you know, the fact that they're mad that Angela Bassett didn't win the fucking, I mean, Jesus Christ. Can't people just be evil anymore? Can't you just be, why do we have to get adjusted to a new kind of evil all the time? Can't we just know what evil is and regard it when we see it and know how to avoid it or mitigate its effects? What is evil? Why is it so goddamn good at morphing all the time? All these sociopathic personality types constantly are rebranding themselves, so it's very hard to know what fucking evil is. It's amazing. It's like you'd think you would just get used to one type of fucking evil. Now it's like, it keeps morphing and changing. the Skull and Bones equity. Let's some of this article did make me laugh. This is written by somebody named Rose Horowitz. I feel like that's a fake name. Horowitz? One evening in 2019, in a windowless building known as the Tomb in the center of Yale's campus, the members of Skull and Bones snapped. There they were having, by the way, how hilarious is that? The members of Skull and Bones snapped? Isn't this supposed to be a thing of like cool serpent-like people that are good under pressure, like when they pull Iran-Contra or something? They snapped? There they were, having been granted membership to the most elite secret society at one of the most elite universities in the world, part of a rare group that for generations included individuals from the most powerful families on the planet, Vanderbilts, Rockefellers, da-da-da-da-da. 3 Bonesmen would go on to become the president. We know. But there in the tomb, surrounded by oil portraits of former Bonesmen, all white, all chosen by the Society's alumni board, the current members felt overcome, not by the achievements of those who had come before them or by the possibilities that lay ahead, but instead by the organization's long history of exclusion. So there's, by the way, which is still going on, the whole point of Skull and Bones, and by the way, these idiots go to Yale. Is there a refund department? The whole point of Skull and Bones is exclusion. That's the entire point. It's to exclude people. They just want them. They don't like the way that the exclusion was set up. But that's the whole point. So the students did what they felt had to be done. They pulled the portraits down and replaced them with homemade signs criticizing the secret society's record of keeping people of color out of its ranks. Can you picture this? You get into the Skull and Bones Society. You're in the tomb. You're finally there. You're finally in the inner sanctum of power. And you're sitting there. And everybody goes, hey, can you give us a hand? And you go, well, what are we going to do? We got Coke or something? They go, no. We're gonna take down the pictures of William F. Buckley, and then we're gonna put up posters about how mad we are that he was white. What? I thought we were gonna do like a party with Scroll and Key. No, we got to do this. They pulled the portraits down and replaced them with homemade signs. Portraits is a relatively straightforward and easy ask, one member who participated in the redecoration told me. The way a space looks can have a large impact on a person's psyche. Can you imagine? These are the people they're now tapping. Give this country to China. Give it to China. Give it to China. Give it to China. Give it to China. Can you imagine a member of the Skull and Bones being like, well, actually, the physical environment has a very big impact on someone's psyche, the way a place looks. Give it to China now. Oh, my God. People are going to accuse me of being like some type of racist. This is not what I don't care who Skull and Bones has in it. I don't give a fuck if they have all blacks, all whites, all Hispanic. The whole point of a secret society is skullduggery. It's fuckery. It's exclusion. And any way you cut it, dummies, the real rebellious move would be to get rid of it. But none of you cunts want to do that because you want the benefits of being in this thing, but you want to just be annoying cunts. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot benefit from this network of fucking Illuminati freaks and then take their photos down, dummy. You should all be forced to go to Barry Weiss's University of Austin. That's where you should go. You go right to Barry Weiss now. That's what happens. If you're really about it, Skull and Bones. If Skull and Bones is really about it, fuck the Yale Rolodex. Fuck all the fucking alumni and the fucking endowments and all the bull. You go right to Barry Weiss's University of Austin. That's where you go. And you do it on your own. Sick of these freaks. So many people are getting in car accidents and so many people are getting ripped off. You know why? Because they're not going to Morgan & Morgan. It's America's largest personal injury law firm. 35% of all fatal accidents occur between 6 p.m. and midnight. People aged 25 to 34 have highest amount of drivers involved in car crashes. People aged 15 to 24 had the highest rate of emergency room visits due to car accidents of all age groups. Okay? Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. You got to use them. With over $15 billion recovered for over 300,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. They only make money if you win. Submitting an injury claim is so easy. Life is hard, but the injury claim that you submit is easy. The accident is the tough part. Getting in the accident. But the suing, if you have to do it, is easy because you have to hold people accountable. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Tim or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Tim or #law, #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. Everybody asks me that come and stays in my house. They go, we love these mattresses. What are they? And I go, they're Helix. It's true. I mean, Helix is like amazing. Everybody's like, these are the best mattresses I've ever like experienced in my life. I'm telling you, Helix is great. All you do is you take a quiz to find out what kind of sleeper you are, what things are important to you in a mattress. And your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door, free of charge. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night trial and 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. Everybody is unique and everyone sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feet preferences. Models with memory foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side. Models with more responsive foam to cradle your body for essential support in stomach and back sleeping positions. No matter what you are or how you sleep, Helix, they're with you. You just got to fill out the quiz. It takes a second. It's a split second. You do the quiz. It's the easiest quiz in the world. You just, they ask you a few questions about your genealogy, your lineage, like where your family comes from, what countries they come from, and they try to put a composite together. It's kidding. And their mattresses are fiberglass free. They do not contain fiberglass, which can be harmful to your health. No fiberglass in the mattress. All these other brands, they got fiberglass there. No, none of that now. Stop it. Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/TimD. Use code HelixPartner20. That's helixsleep.com/TimD and use code HelixPartner20. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. One of our favorite themes on the show now is reading articles from the Wall Street Journal. I don't know what's going on there, and I don't know anyone there. The Wall Street Journal seems to be the head publication. It's appointed itself the publication that is trying the hardest to prepare you for the nightmares of which they are convinced you are going to experience. The Wall Street Journal has a new article called "Here's What It's Like to Retire on Almost Nothing But Social Security." Listen again to the words because they're my favorite. There is a woman here in a subdivision, maybe Gilbert Goons, and she's in a wheelchair and she's got a dog and she's smiling. Here's the Wall Street Journal headline again. It's great. Here's what it's like to retire on almost nothing but Social Security. 4 retirees with limited incomes open up about how they make it work. Many Americans reach retirement with almost no savings, no 401k, few investments, and almost no income aside from a monthly Social Security check. Social Security was never fully intended to support retirees, said Anqui Chen, Assistant Director of Savings Research at Boston College's Center for Retirement Research. The average monthly Social Security check is about $1,900. That doesn't go as far as it once did, said Sandy Markwood, CEO of U.S. Aging. adding that inflation and rising rents have led more older adults to seek help from her nonprofits, Elder Care, Locator Tool, and other organizations that provide help to seniors. So here's what, and I haven't read the article yet, but here's what I'm betting it is. They're not going to present this as a desperate situation for these seniors. They're going to present this as like a fun challenge. It's like a fun, late in life challenge to figure out how you're going to eat. Eric Miller never wanted to leave the kitchen. The professional chef thrived on the intensity of restaurant life, often working 12-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. A heart condition landed him in the hospital about 7 years ago. After that, he had no choice but to hang up his knives. Now 70, Miller said he was unprepared for sudden retirement, financially or otherwise, in part because he had never planned to stop working. At the height of his career, he earned about $2,000 a week. Now his monthly Social Security check brings in about $1,400. He rents the basement of his sister's home for about $500 a month, including electricity. His other main expenses include food, gas, and insurance. His 6 heart medications are largely covered by social services. About 7 years ago, he moved to Arizona to care for his aging mother as her dementia and Alzheimer's worsened. When she had a stroke, he took a nearly 2-year career break to help care for her full-time until she died. He eventually moved back to Virginia, where he worked for a few more years. Though money is tighter than he would like, Miller is proudly debt-free. So now here's where it turns. Here's where, now remember, he's cared for his aging mother. He's living in a basement. He's living in a basement of his sister's house, okay, for $500 a month. But here's where the Wall Street Turtle, here we go. Put on a happy face. The money is tighter than he would like. Miller, and by the way, people say, like, they're like, are you making up these articles? These are, you read them. You go and read them. We'll post them. Remember, do you think I could make that up where they're like, you don't need a bathroom? Mm-hmm. What is this, 1998? Dining room? Kitchen? No, the new houses are a single hallway with little cages on either side. He paid off more, though money is tighter than he would like, Miller is proudly debt-free. He paid off more than $12,000 in credit card debt this summer with the help of nonprofit financial counseling agency Green Path Financial Wellness. He also got relief from his roughly $100,000 in medical bills for his 4 heart procedures, thanks to the hospital's charity. I feel a lot less stressed. In retirement, he embraced budgeting for the first time. What that basically says is he was a scumbag. That little line is important. In retirement, he embraced budgeting for the first time. So basically, they're saying this guy's a scumbag. Now, they told you a few paragraphs earlier that he literally stopped his life to care for his aging mother. But now they're saying, but he was a scumbag. He didn't budget anything. He didn't know where his money was. He was a scumbag. You know, he was just taking care of his elderly mother with dementia, but he wasn't watching the money. I work on my budget religiously, he said. Sounds fun. He regularly tracks his spending in a spreadsheet. Ooh! Some month he has about $150 left over, which usually buys him more food than he particularly likes, such as chicken and vegetables. I mean, the lives they are preparing you for. I'm folks, listen to me right now. The former high school athlete enjoys watching football and basketball on television. His dog died last year, but he is considering getting a new one. I'll probably go to the pound, he said. The lives they are preparing you for are unbelievable. They are unreal. They are basically writing these articles to go, things are going to be okay. There'll be some financial help, perhaps delivered through charity or certain organizations, and you might get that, you might not, but you better budget. You better budget because you can have about $150 left at the end of the month, and you could have some chicken. You could get some extra chicken. You want some extra chicken? And maybe you can get a dog and feed him some of the chicken. Kathy Rode has been an advocate for people with disabilities her entire adult life. The retired social worker still helps friends with age-related mobility problems. Seniors are generally embarrassed by disability. It takes confidence to say, I have this disability and it's within my right to seek accommodations. Afflicted with polio as an infant, Rote knows the challenges and expenses of life with a disability. Today, she lives on a $1,040 Social Security check. $1,000. As a child, she used leg braces and Canadian canes to get around and recounts being bullied in school. The obstacles she encountered inspired her to work for years at a nonprofit in Berkeley, California. She used the motorized wheelchair, 1993, she lacked the stamina to work full-time and claim Social Security disability insurance. At around age 66, those benefits stopped and she began getting retirement benefits. She moved to Tucson, Arizona, where she's attended college. A folk singer and a guitarist, she rejoined a group that had started the Tucson Folk Festival years before. Well, that's nice. The whole point of this is that it's actually good. She's good. We're all happy. Mm-hmm. She gets $1,000 a month, and she's happy. And if she maybe she could eat her guitar. She bought a home with the $60,000 her uncle left her and has no debt. She shares the home with Archie, her 90-pound rescue dog. She supplements the $200 she spends on food each month with a $157 benefit from her Medicare, which she uses to pay for over-the-counter medication and groceries. Hiring attendants to help with house cleaning, wheelchair maintenance, and food prep cost her about $300 a month. Rote said the recent deaths of her mother and 5 friends have convinced her to make the effort to see people. So she hosts occasional parties on her patio. See, it's fine. She's having parties on the patio. We sing songs and eat some food and talk about what really matters to each of us. Yeah. Joyce McKinney, she's 77. She doesn't have any money either. Let's see how Joyce McKinney's doing. Okay? It's really, really tough. You don't know what the future is going to bring. It was an extremely difficult time. She's lonely, anxious with money. Now she feels a bit more secure, though far from flush. She had found ways to stretch her $1,800 Social Security check. Since downsizing, she pays about $343 a month for a storage unit. Her rent rose recently to $584 a month. She spends $68 a month for basic cable and $77 for her cell phone. An insurance policy costs her $269 a month. About $150 to $200 each month goes to food and $100 for laundry. She takes subsidized senior transportation for $1 a ride to get to most places. McKinney is active in the social scene at the senior center, where she spends most of her weekdays. Arriving at the Allegheny branch of the Philadelphia Senior Center around 9 a.m. and catching up with friends over free coffee and $1 corn muffin. $1 corn muffin. They bang her $1 to have a corn muffin at the senior center. Many of the people here are like an extended family. They make better food for me than I make for myself. This is a great one. Barbara Talisman's nomadic lifestyle satisfies both her wanderlust and retirement budget. With limited savings, the former fundraiser for nonprofits had planned to work until at least age 65. But 2 years ago, with her birthday approaching, she chose to call it quits, sell her belongings, and claim Social Security. Life is short. I was done. I wasn't going to wait another 3 years. Good for her. Okay? Now she put some money into savings. Okay? Now she goes globetrotting. She booked 4-week-long back-to-back cruises to Mexico in the fall of 2021. When prices were low due to lingering COVID concerns. So that's nice. So during a global pandemic, this woman was forced to take back-to-back cruises. It's not bad. Lovely.
Travel, yeah.
Travel. Things are fine. She doesn't have a lot of money, but she's traveling. She's on a cruise. I think, she has a small... Wait, hold on. Let's go up there for a second. Where does she live? Her food average is $300 a month and car insurance. Recently, she spent 7 months in California, spending about $500 a month on hotels between house-sitting gigs. So she's a house sitter. She doesn't really have a permanent place to live, but it's fun. It's actually fun because she gets to house sit in other people's homes. That's nice. It's a fun way to do it. She house sits and, it's great because, listen, nobody's trying to help any of these people. Nobody's trying to help any of these people. Certainly the people with Skull and Bones are not. They're not trying to help any of these people. So you just got to put a nice put a good spin out on what they're doing. If they're house sitting or they have to live on a cruise or, they just, a lot of these, by the way, are just like, and she has a dog. That's a lot of them are like, she may have no money. She may be stretched to the limit where she has $100 a month left, but she's got a dog. And isn't that good? She went to the pound and got a dog, and the other guy can occasionally eat more chicken. So the Wall Street Journal's like, things are good. Things are fine. Things are absolutely fine. People are eating chicken. They got dogs. They're house sitting in other people's houses. They're dying in hotels and on cruises. That's fine. It's fine. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Help them? What are you going to put together some type of, program so that these people, come on. It's fun. It's a fun challenge. It's fun to house sit when you're in your 70s. It's nice. It's fun to bounce around. House sitting. That's great. You should be how lucky to be so bohemian in your old age. How lucky to be so bohemian in your old age. Or live with your sister for $500 and finally learn the budget, you scumbag. Thank God you learned. Get that spreadsheet out, you scumbag. You were just trying to help your mother with dementia. Well, you should have had that spreadsheet then. Where was the spreadsheet then? You wouldn't be here, you piece of shit. I tried to get tickets to the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift, and I couldn't, and my entire family wanted to go with me. And I promised them that I would get tickets, and literally it was sold out, and I couldn't get the tickets. And do you know what my entire family did? And I don't even want to say this because it's not right. My uncle, when I told him that I cannot get you and your children tickets to the Eras Tour, my uncle put all of his wife and his children in a car, and he drove them into a lake, and they all died. And they were listening to Taylor Swift because he said, this is as close as we're going to get. This is as close as we're going to get. And I don't want you to have that. I don't want you to have that story to tell in your life. So I would like you to use the Game Time app. It's the best. You can get tickets to anything: comedy, music, sports, last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals. Easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. Views from all seats in the venue, lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, etc. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even after it's an hour after it starts even. It's a place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section, and Game Time picks the seats for big-time savings. The game here is it's not only easy to do, but it saves you money. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. And your family will not be in a car in a lake, drowning, screaming at me on the phone, screaming at me going, oh, you couldn't do it. Wait till you see what I'm going to do now. And in the background, they're like, Dad, no, stop. And he's blasting, it's a love story, like a sick person. It's a love story. And he swam away and got out. And me and him are fine now. Download the Game Time app. Create an account and use code TIM for 20% off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code TIM for 20% off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. We're ending with a sad story. A speeding driver strikes and kills girl 6 while she played outside her house and mockingly called her a retard to cops who arrived to investigate. That's not great. A North Carolina man struck and killed a 6-year-old while speeding past her house and called her a retard to cops who arrived on the scene. Andrew Everett was charged with involuntary manslaughter, reckless driving, and speeding for the December 29th crash that killed 6-year-old Jocelyn Perez Hernandez. Hernandez's family said she was playing near the sidewalk in front of her home in Cary just before noon, and the vehicle struck her. I think the girl had Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. According to the warrant, Everett said, quote, I'm not sure why this investigation is taking more than 5 minutes. It wasn't my fault. No one was watching her, and she just jumped out in front of me. That retard. It is unclear if the little girl was disabled. Well, it looks a bit, it feels a bit. I mean, yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy is not going to deal with this in a mature way. Everett claimed the child jumped out in front of him, but police noticed a lack of skid marks on the road suggests that he did not try to brake. Oh, my God. So maybe he wasn't paying attention. Maybe he's just a psycho. This girl died. That's a terrible story. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
All around. There's something amazing about someone who's just after something like that completely remorseless.
Yeah.
Like someone who's like angry and like put upon, going, so what? Why is this even happening?
Mm-hmm.
This should take 5 minutes. So what? I mean, just the remorseless. The lack of remorse is always a fascinating element to me of certain people's makeup. That they can do something, even by accident, that causes a death. And they just go, yeah, well, I didn't mean to. They go, yeah, but you don't think about it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that just don't seem to have a lot of remorse. Not all of them. Obviously, there's people out there that are very deeply in touch with their humanity and, but there are people out there that maybe shoot a cinematographer instead of a movie and they don't seem broken up about it. But maybe that's just the way you need to move on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. Maybe you just need to move on. Like maybe you can't dwell on someone you shot several minutes ago or someone you hit with a car, a half hour ago. Maybe we have to move on as people. It does us no good to dwell on the past. So are these people remorseless or are they forward thinking? That's true because there are a lot of people. Our buddy Caitlin had an accident in Malibu. Did it sideline her? I don't know. I think, but by the way, that's the attitude that makes a champion. That's really the attitude that makes a champion. She's like, I don't think she meant to do it. I think circumstances being what they were, unfortunately, she ended somebody's life in her vehicle. But, the term onward and upward exists for a reason. It's not, I didn't just invent it. It's actually a thing that people say, onward and upward. I auditioned for a movie recently. I didn't get it. And yet still, my manager said onward and upward. We actually just went next, but I wish he said onward and upward. Mm-hmm. He just went next, which is maybe what Caitlin said, next. Maybe she was like, next. Or maybe this guy was just next. Or our buddy Alec Baldwin maybe was like, next. I don't know. I am not a genius. We know, Tim. But I do have some insight into the human condition, and people often have to move on. They must move on. And that really is an important part of life. And I think that, this man, this is a horrible thing that this girl died. It was not nice that he called her a retard after hitting her with his car. But that is what he believed caused the accident, in fairness to him. And he's probably not an eloquent person. I look at him and I go, he's maybe not that is not an eloquent man. That is not a man who went to Yale. So that is not a man he's probably inarticulate. He doesn't exactly know how to express his emotions in a way that wouldn't offend. Like saying, like, if I were him, I would have said, this is a great tragedy. I'm so sorry she just jumped out of nowhere. Nobody was watching her. It seemed like something maybe was wrong with her. I wouldn't have said, why is this taking more than 5 minutes? That retard jumped out. I wouldn't have said it. Those were his words, not mine. Those were his words, not mine. But this is a man who understands the need to put the past behind him. You know? And there's many. And by the way, how different is he than Bill Clinton? Not too different. Bill Clinton's like, let's leave it there. Let's leave the past there. Onward and upward. Let's move on. You think Bill Clinton wants a real examination of the pit? No, America's best days are ahead of her. It's time to move on. That's why he brought the Newsoms to Mexico, to talk about the future. That's what they were discussing, not the past. Talking about the future and what it will bring and all the good things that are going to come. You know? And that's what this guy was doing in his own way, with his little shitty car on a side street, driving a little fast, killing this poor girl. Nothing good about any of that. But he was just doing what Bill Clinton was doing. Life's a weird, random place. This guy's going, let's move on. Clinton's in a luxury resort in Mexico, essentially saying the same thing. Let's move on. How many lives did Clinton ruin? More than that guy. Probably. Right? Yeah. So it's just interesting. Random. Odd. But that's what we're doing here. Can't make sense of it. But if you want to see a comedy show, you should go to timdilloncomedy.com and get tickets to come see me. It'll make the night fun. Don't kill anyone on the way home. But if you do, that shouldn't, inhibit you from going on and doing the things you normally do. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Northfield, Ohio, San Antonio, Texas, Dallas, Atlanta, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Boston, another Boston probably. We're going to add a fourth show at the Wilbur. Connecticut, Foxwoods, Chicago, Fort Lauderdale, Indio, Phoenix. A couple more casinos being announced too. We'll be keeping an eye on all the stories for you. Some Gilbert Goons updates on the Patreon. Interesting stuff happening. God, I wish I was in the fucking Mexico with the Gavin Newsom and the Clintons. I really wish I was there. But at the end of the day, it's like, God, it looks so fun. Gavin Newsom with his cut-off Converses and his wife. God, it looks so fun. Oh, poor Bill.
Oh, here's the beach walk.
It's unclear if former presidential candidate and ex-Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was also at the resort. Oh, they left her home. Oh, how sad. Hillary's not much for parties. You know that's what Bill said. Big Hillary's like, I don't want to see them. Because they're going to talk about how Gavin can become president. That's going to depress her. Mm-hmm. She's going to be depressed. So Bill's taking that walk on the beach. Bill's giving him the advice. He's the young gun. This is like the last time anyone's going to ask for Bill Clinton's advice. He's a fucking suspect in a human trafficking probe. This is the last motherfucking time anyone is going to take a beach walk with Bill Clinton and go, hey, buddy, how do I do it? This is it. This is the last time Bill Clinton can be like in some type of elder statesman before he's just complete. Because this is the tip of the iceberg. What's going to come out about all this stuff, I mean, it'll be terrible. His legacy is going to go down in literal flames. So this is the last time he can walk on a beach in Mexico and give this other scumbag advice about how to bamboozle everybody into thinking that this scumbag cares about them. And there's something nice about that. There's something nice about that. In a world that changes every minute, every second, when we can hold on to very, very, very little, there's some nice things that stay the same. And one of them is that somewhere on this planet, a sociopath will walk down the resort, will walk down the beach of a resort and tell another sociopath how to be a better sociopath. Okay? And neither one of them needed to be in fucking faggoty skull and bones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Seems like a very chill, relaxed summer so far. Just kind of long days by the lake or, by the ocean, whatever you choose. Couple of s'mores, couple of brewskis with the fellas, couple of rubber bullets to the face, little destabilization of the Middle East happening. It's kind of summer. It's kind of an American summer. It's like a race riot, National Guard, boots on the ground, rubber bullet to the face, summer. It's kind of what we do. And, this is the vibe. This is what we're all settling into, the new normal of summer in America. Doesn't really mean like going to the beach anymore, because a lot of the beaches are just like they've been destroyed by fire or whatever. There's like islands of Tesla batteries just floating in the Pacific Ocean. A lot of people now, summer means just like go out and just fight. Go out and, get tased. That's the summer, really. That's what it is. Just go out and light it up. I said before the Trump administration took office, I said when they won that if they focus their immigration efforts on deporting criminals, MS-13, whatever, smugglers, human traffickers, drug traffickers, the massive majority of the public would support them. Or even people that have just got here, people that are incredibly new to the country that had to be deported because they literally showed up. But when you go around and you're deporting people that have lived here for 17 years, when you're deporting people randomly in a church parking lot, when you're putting children in zip tie handcuffs, when you are showing up at high school graduations, deporting people, it's barbaric. It's inhumane. And I don't think the public, first of all, you can't really live in a society like that. You can't. It's an incredibly chaotic and insane thing to just have ICE raids happening all the time at any minute. And now Trump's going, well, maybe we'll make an exception for the hotels and the agriculture businesses, because his friends called him and said, hey, what are you doing? Like, we own hotels. We need people to work. So it's just going to, it's a lot of chaos, and it's inhumane, and it's barbarism, and it makes the country look terrible to have a 6-year-old girl being handcuffed and put in a car. That's not the look that you want the country to have. I think most people realize that. That doesn't mean that, lighting cop cars on fire and waving Mexican flags is the greatest look either. Here's Trump. Our great farmers and people in the hotel and leisure businesses have been stating that our very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good long-time workers away from them, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace. In many cases, the criminals allowed into our country by the very stupid Biden open borders policy are applying for those jobs. This is not good. We must protect our farmers, but get the criminals out of the USA. Changes are coming. That might be the first realization that this is a insane policy that's, counterproductive. If you want to control the border, as you should, and this, this whole idea that borders aren't real and they're all imaginary is also untrue. People fight and die for borders. Go ask the Ukraine and Russia what they think about borders, or people in Israel or Gaza what they think about borders. You may not like that nations exist or that borders exist, and you may find them to be arbitrary, but I assure you wars have been fought, many of them currently, over borders. And you need to have a border, and you need to have a country, and you need to have a way to, figure out who's coming into the country and whether they're criminals or whether they're terrorists or whatever. Those are all real things that I think most sensible people, not the ones on social media, not my comedian friends who are mentally ill, but I mean human beings that have mortgages and homes and jobs, or even those who rent, or those who have any care at all about the society that they exist in or that their families and children exist in, realize that borders are not fake, and it's not a joke to have a border or have security or have a country. But those people don't want to see 6-year-old girls getting zip-tied and thrown into cars. Those people don't want to see people dragged out of their kids' high school graduation. So if the goal is to build a coalition of people that want and value border security, whatever you're doing right now, I think flies in the face of that. I think it is counterproductive. And, you're going into these places randomly, and people can't exist in this climate of fear and chaos. And it'll be incredibly disruptive to the economy as well. It's going to disrupt you. You're not going to be able to fill these jobs overnight. And I'm a guy that believes that I'm with these people when they say the lie about jobs Americans won't do is a lie. Immigration in this country has benefited millionaires and billionaires primarily. It's certainly also benefited the people that have come over to a certain degree, but many of them live in the shadows. They can't unionize. They can't demand proper wages. They're abused. And the reason that they are brought in is so that millionaires and billionaires can pay them less money. That's an economic fact. And this lie that jobs Americans won't do. And then you're like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, the farm jobs. You go, okay, maybe I'll give you that. And then they go, construction, retail, landscaping. These are all jobs that Americans did forever. These are jobs that they don't want to pay Americans to do. So that is a lie. And I think Americans are waking up to that lie because wait a minute, what are these jobs Americans could do? Only finance and tech? So Americans are only built to be on OnlyFans, or they're built to be venture capitalists. That's it? Those are the only jobs Americans are supposed to do? So we're going to get rid of the manufacturing sector, retail, the service industry, all of those jobs Americans don't want to do. Americans can only masturbate on OnlyFans or be a venture capitalist with Mark Andreessen. Those are the only jobs available that Americans can do? Because if that is what people tell you, that say we should have an open border and we should just bring everybody in because Americans don't want to do any of these jobs, that's a lie. That doesn't mean that you throw a 6-year-old girl in zip ties in the car. That doesn't mean that you show up at a church parking lot and drag people out. That doesn't mean that you, Jesus Christ, embed Dr. Phil with ICE. I mean, Dr. Phil's with ICE. Caitlyn Jenner is in Tel Aviv right now at a bomb shelter drinking a glass of wine. Get this up if you can find this. I mean, the world isn't even real anymore in any recognizable way. What timeline are we on? What dimension? I don't know if you can get that tweet up, but she's just like, she's guzzling wine in an Israeli bomb shelter. Maybe it's just a still. There you go. Well, we wish her well, but that's Caitlyn Jenner in an Israeli bomb shelter in Tel Aviv. So these ICE raids, I think, are going to have the long-term effect of turning people away from valuing border security, because if they go, well, if border security is throwing a 6-year-old girl in handcuffs or chasing people out of a graduation, they go, I don't want to be a part of that. And it is a real question. Immigration's a real thing. Migration is a real thing. It's not racist to suggest that America might be full, truly, and that Black and Hispanic people that live here already should be getting these jobs, and white people, or whoever is living here already, and that bringing people in endlessly is going to cause a problem, especially when we have AI on its way. It's already here. And you have a tremendous wealth disparity in this country already. But the way that the policy is manifesting, where it's like just very indiscriminate and cruel, is going to set all of that back. I just don't think you can live in that situation. I don't think people can live in that situation. There's got to be some kind of process. You can't have masked people show up and then throw these people in Guantanamo. Or if you criticize Israel, you're just thrown off an American college campus. I just don't love it. I don't love this military parade they're going to have where it's like, what do we are all the veterans getting health care? I don't know how much this military parade costs, but are we doing anything for the mental health veterans? Are we giving them any money? It's weird for an anti-war president to have a big military parade. That's an odd thing. For a guy that wants to keep America out of wars, it's odd to have a military parade. That's seemingly strange. That's like, if RFK Jr. went to a pie eating contest. You go, wait a minute, aren't you the guy that's not for that? Aren't you the guy that say no? Like, it's just as straight. It's like RFK at the state fair eating fried Oreos. You'd go, this doesn't make any sense. So it's odd to me that we're going to have this big, crazy military parade. Unless I'm a pro-military guy, I think we should do a lot more for people in the military. But to spend $50 million so that we can just roll tanks and missiles or whatever the hell we're going to do through D.C., again, this is an administration that said, let's not be a country that's permanently on war footing. Let's not have our entire economy be tied up in war. Let's try to pursue other things. And that doesn't seem to be happening. That doesn't seem to be happening. Now that we've kind of seen what's going on, we're almost in it. Now it's Friday. I'm recording this on Friday, and the show comes out Saturday. We're almost in this war. We're not there yet. And these strikes at Israel, this is not these are not surgical strikes to take out nuclear sites. These are strikes aimed to decapitate the Iranian regime, and it's a regime change war. They want the regime of Iran to be displaced, and they want the United States involved. And Trump's bellicose language suggests, and I could be wrong, that we're about to get involved. First of all, I do want to thank Israel for doing this, because I didn't realize how grateful I needed to be to Israel for this. I didn't realize how much it was in my interest that the government of a Middle Eastern country I've never been to and has very little effect on my life get decapitated and replaced with another government. I want to thank Israel for this. What can I do? I feel so grateful and so thankful for this. I just want to say thank you. And that's many Americans, I think, we don't know how to express our gratitude for doing this. It's a gift, and it's a beautiful gift you gave us, a war with Iran. It's such a great gift. Most people think of a gift, I don't know, an edible arrangement maybe. I mean, that's certainly on the cheaper end, but, you know, certain people give people books or artwork. But a war with Iran is an amazing gift given to the world by Israel. Now, if you think I'm kidding, go look at any of the influencers that are talking about how great this is, and they are all going to say things like, let me read one. I'm going to read one right now for you because it's fun. I think it's fun. And I just, again, want to say thank you. I want to be completely grateful about all of this stuff that's going on right now. A nation of 10 million people is standing up for the whole globe. Be proud of them. Be grateful to them. Pray for them. Alana Newhouse. Okay. Our friend Noah Tishby put up a thing where she's like, Iran has this amount of people. Israel has this amount. It's still David versus Goliath. That's what Noah Tishby said. And I mean, it's like, in that story, I guess David has nuclear weapons, if we're going to carry that example out. So many people don't know the importance of life insurance, but I'm telling you right now, so many of my friends have used Ethos, and they're so happy about it. It gives them a real sense of peace, a peace of mind. I'm telling you, do not put it off. People go, oh, it's too expensive, but it's not. It can really help your family if you're to pass away, pay the mortgage, college tuition, etc. Life insurance is more affordable than you think. With Ethos, you can get a free quote and customize a rate that fits your budget. You can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies as low as $2 a day, bill monthly. Lock in your rate today since premiums can go up as you age. Ethos makes it fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. No medical exam required. You just answer a few health questions 100% online, get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. You can get same-day coverage without ever leaving your house. According to a stat from January 2025 in The Guardian, it could take weeks to get approved with traditional life insurance carriers. Ethos is a trustworthy company that disrupts the traditional life insurance industry. As of March 2025, Business Insider named Ethos the #1 no medical exam instant life insurance provider. 3 million families have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help them find the right coverage. Ethos has 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot with over 2,400 reviews. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote today, ethos.com/Tim. That's ETHOS.com/TIM. The reason that Trump was elected, in my analysis, is that a lot of people felt like the United States of America had allowed itself to get too involved in the world at the expense of the country. People drove through cities and they saw homeless people, people with mental issues, people that were addicted to drugs. They saw downtowns that were abandoned. No small businesses, no shops. They didn't see commerce. They didn't see families running around. They saw desolate, crime-ridden cities. They were unable to send their kids to a decent college. They were unable to own a house. And they felt like giving money to the Ukraine or giving money to Israel for endless wars, years and years, whether you support them morally or not, just a reality that they go on years, 2 years, 3 years, billions and billions and billions of dollars. I think a lot of people looked at that and went, this doesn't make any sense. It's not rational that the country that we live in is seemingly in terminal, irreversible decline and that nobody can do anything about it, but we must be all over the world funding things here and there that your kids on TikTok come up to you and go, why are we doing this? His baby just got beheaded, and you have to go, well, it's complicated. The people that are pushing for these wars, and the guys that are very, blasé and casual about them, Thomas Friedman of the New York Times, Sam Harris, all these guys, they're all sitting in beautiful homes. Their wives are playing tennis. The kids are in the pool. They're eating a nice lunch, and they're typing a column about how good it is that someone somewhere is getting bombed, that someone is laying in their bed at night and bombs are going off. These guys have never been in a war. They've covered wars, whatever that means. I'm sure all these guys, Douglas Murray, they're always at a war. They're always having cocktails at a war, but they're never fighting the war, but they're having cocktails at the war, canapes. They're at a meet and greet at the war. There's some type of appetizers at 6, open bar, whatever they're doing at the war. But they're not in the war, but they're always writing these articles from the lovely cul-de-sac suburbia about how great the wars are. And then the boomer Fox News Disney adult retard contingent of the Republican Party, where they are the equivalent of Disney adults, except their Disney is like war and fucking wiping Iran off the map. These Fox News adult weird freaks that pound their fist and get fed garbage by boomer media all day about who are all LARPing as tough guys, but own one gun they don't know how to shoot, are always pushing again for strength and war, and we're going to kick their ass. These people are the base of the American conservative movement, and they can be emotionally manipulated. The base of the American liberal movement can be manipulated in that way as well. All you have to do with that side is tell them that RuPaul's Drag Race can't do a show in Russia. And then they're in. So all you have to do is for the left make war about domestic politics. They throw gay people off the roof or whatever, even though do we have photos? I'm sure it's happened. How is it happening every day? And are we going to help that somehow by bombing everybody? Now, yeah, try to throw them off the roof now. We bombed the building. Like, it's not rational, but that's how you get the left involved. You just use domestic wedge political issues to get them going. The left is crazy. The right is stupid. So the way you get the right involved is to just tell them they're going to be killed soon, that they're on their way to kill you. They're coming to kill you, and we got to kill them first. We got to kill them before they kill you. Everything's preemptive. Everything's a strike. It's there, and you're in your cul-de-sac. You're like, Iran's going to get it. Iran. These are the same people who sit in their cul-de-sac. They go, let someone try to break into this house. Let someone. They're always hard. They can't probably get hard, but they're half erect for the idea of a conflict that never materializes. And that's the main animating thing about a lot of these Disney adult boomer Fox News retard conservatives who they're the main demographic for Boeing, Raytheon, General Dynamics, Halliburton back in the day. These are the people that are animated by the idea of war as a good thing for all things. They're the people that don't care if what the cops are able to do. They don't care if the cops are able to just bust in your house. They want a police state. They don't mind it. Those are those people. So those are rubes. They're buying into this. They'll buy into anything. I'm disappointed that Trump seemingly is committing now to the idea of getting involved potentially in this. I don't know what the hell that's. Why are we doing that? Israel wants to remake the Middle East or change the power dynamic or preemptively invade a country or decapitate a country's government. That has nothing to do with us. That shouldn't have anything to do with us. I'm confused. I'm very confused. That doesn't make any sense to me. Get up, this woman in the UK. I have her name here, but I'm gonna fuck it up, and it's a foreign name, and I don't want people to say I'm more racist than I actually am. Hold on, let me get her name. Probably pronouncing wrong. Kemi, Kemi Badenoch. Badenoch. Get her up to talk about Israel. It's kind of interesting. Kemi Badenoch. She's I believe, leader in the Conservative Party over there in the UK. See if we can get her up. Yeah, so listen to this madness here. Now, by the way, let's right out in front, get ahead of this and say this. Britain, the United Kingdom, doesn't care at all about the state of its own society. People from all over the world have bought real estate in cities like London, similar to New York. I'm not saying we're above this at all. They do not care. Crime is up. People are fleeing. They're fleeing Britain. They're being taxed out. They're leaving other places. Their cities are foreign-owned cities. People come in and launder money through their real estate. It's not about race. It's not about any people always make it about race. It's about race. I have no issue at all with multiculturalism if everyone's moving to a place to be British, not to exploit loopholes in tax policy and investment strategies and suck money out of a place. That's not patriotic, but that's what's happening. But Britain's allowed this to happen because it enriches a small group of people that don't care about the future of the country. So let's remember let's put this in the context and the perspective that this woman is talking, because they just don't care about. London's been sold off to the highest bidder. The British working class has been sold out. They have billionaires from all over the world, dictators, despots. They're living in London. They're living luxuriously in London. They have beautiful houses in Kensington Gardens. They live beautifully and they adore it. And the British working class has been sold out. And let's see what she's talking about. Kemi, everyone.
Hamas is praising your actions. You've probably done something wrong. Hamas is a terrorist group that is, making the lives of the people in Gaza, the Palestinians in Gaza.
That's what Mr. Netanyahu
horrible.
said. Are you agreeing with his language?
So what I'm saying is that Israel is fighting a war where they want to get 58 hostages who have not been returned. That is what all of this is about. And they have said there won't be a ceasefire until they get their people back. What we need to make sure is that we're on the side that is going to eradicate Hamas. We need that to happen if we're ever going to get a two-state solution and end this war.
But does that mean that you, A, support the current Israeli action, and that actually you think that Mr. Netanyahu's language on this is justified?
I'm not here to police the language of the Prime Minister of Israel.
I'm not asking you to police it. I'm asking...
What he has said,
people need to know where you stand.
Yeah, but I've been very clear where I stand. Hamas is a terrorist group. They are not our friends.
I'm talking about what
Trevor,
you think about the Israelis'
Yes, but it's all related. Who funds Hamas? Iran. An enemy of this country. An enemy of this country. Israel is fighting a proxy war on behalf of the UK, just like Ukraine is on behalf of the Western Europe against Russia. We have to get serious.
Stop it right there. Israel is fighting a proxy war on behalf of the United Kingdom? Is that the most insane thing anyone's ever heard? Are people right now in the United Kingdom, is their biggest problem Iran? What is this woman speaking of? What is she talking about? What is anyone talking? Is Iran the reason that no one can afford a house? Is Iran the reason that there's fentanyl everywhere? Is Iran the reason that we've got political corruption? Is Russia the reason? Is Iran the reason that we have 12 people that own everything in this country? Is Iran the reason that we have, an epidemic of poison food that's killing people and children? And is Iran the reason for any of this? Is Iran the reason that corporations in America just pillage and leave a trail of death and destruction in their wake? Is Iran the reason we have no health care? I mean, this is the most insane thing I've ever heard. She's saying Iran's the enemy of the UK because people pop off. The mullahs in Iran talk a lot of shit. What are they doing? Did Iran attack the UK Did Iran attack the United States of America? Am I complete? Is Russia attacking the United Kingdom or the United States of America? Am I wrong? But when she says, just get her out of here. But when she says they're fighting a proxy war on behalf of us, and that's what the Ukraine is doing for Russia. It's on behalf of us. Number one, that's very dangerous to say because number one, there's a lot of people in this country that are not trying to get in a war with Russia. I mean, we're not trying to do that. I don't want to be in a war with Russia. So this framing of the issue that I just don't agree with, that they're in a proxy war, your own society is collapsing. Your own society is declining perpetually, year after year. Annually, things get worse. People are fleeing. And you're out there saying the most important thing to the British working class or the American working class is that the Iranian regime is decapitated with Israeli airstrikes? Can you imagine knocking on the door of a double-wide trailer and grabbing a person who is 5 months away from being homeless in our country and asking them their biggest problem? How do you think the word Iran is going to come up much? How do we get in this position? Well, Iran. When your insurance won't cover a knee operation and you have to go bankrupt to replace your hip, is your main concern that Iran be decapitated? This is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. And if you say anything like this, you're immediately accused of anti-Semitism or you don't understand. I think, listen, I'd rather live in Israel than Iran. Well, where would you rather live? I'd rather live in Israel than Iran. They're nicer to gay people. They're nicer to women. I'm no fan of the Iranian regime. I live in America. That's where I live. My concern is the people of America. Are they doing good? That's my concern. I feel terrible for women in Iran that want more rights. But I've seen this movie before where we go in there because everyone wants more rights. Everyone wants to be liberated. And here we go. Here comes the liberators. And then we've also seen the end of that movie where the Taliban comes back. Or Iraq has this very, they have a government that puts all the same rules in. I am not saying, we're the ones who fucked up Iran in the beginning with the Shah and the coup. It was like a progressive country. We slammed the door shut on that. And then the veils went on. And then since the hostage crisis, we've been using Iran. Iran has been we've been using Iran in this country forever. Everything is Iran. During the 9/11 things, they're like, Iraq is a smokescreen. Iran's the final target. Like everybody was sold on this idea that Iran. We've got a leader in the Conservative Party in the UK saying that they're fighting a proxy war on behalf of us. Blue Chew, it's the summer. You know what it is. Take your pants off, baby. Always be ready when an opportunity arises. Blue Chew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. Be ready. Get your first month of Blue Chew free. Great sex is a few clicks away. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversation, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use promo code TD. Just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code TD. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. This poor guy on Air India is getting this man miraculously survived a plane crash, and we cared about it for an hour because then this shit popped off. Look at this guy. Everyone on Air India died, and I'm sorry to say, this guy. Yeah, he's like, get out of here. He's angry. This is the lone survivor of the Air India fatal crash. This guy, I mean, this should have been a miraculous story. It lasted an hour. And then everybody in L.A., it was they were burning Waymos in the street. That's another thing, folks. It's just 2020 vibes. I know the protests, some of them are organic, some of them are organized, some of them are funded. It's all fun out there, whatever the case, okay? I don't know why everyone's there. I'm sure there's people there for great reasons. There's people there to fuck shit up. Who cares? You can't say everything's peaceful when there's like multiple cop cars damaged and everything's on fire. Most of it can be peaceful, but there are aspects of it that aren't peaceful. You got to deal in reality. Reality is the guy holding the Mexican flag standing on the car that's burning is not the message. The point of a protest is for you to be peaceful and then the cop to punch you. And what happens there is then the picture goes viral and everyone goes, oh my God, we've lost our way. That's the point of a protest. The point of a protest is to gain the moral high ground. You're not going to win with force. You could throw as many lime scooters as you want. You can spit on people. They have all of the police, the National Guard, the military. They have the force. You have to win that moral victory of getting punched and that photo going viral. That's what protests are. I was talking to Ray Kump about it, and he made a good point. That's what protests are. You're not going to defeat them with violence. You have to defeat them on the moral ground of saying, hey, this is fucked up. And I don't agree with a lot of the people that are ignoring the contradictions within that. There's a lot of contradictions in that issue. I know it's time for everyone to go out and go, I love LA and LA is great, but LA has problems. LA is an incredibly dysfunctional place where people live in shanty towns and hovels and they live in the shadows and they serve a class of millionaires and billionaires. And I've never seen more dramatic income inequality in my life than I've seen in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles, 40% of all illegal immigrants live in Los Angeles. And this whole society, or in California, 40% live in California. And many of the main industries are run on illegal labor. And again, I don't want these people zip tied and thrown in cars. But we also have to realize, why did all of that happen? Why did that happen? Well, it happened because, and then you go, well, who's getting the better deal here? You go, well, a lot of illegal labor is used in the production of food. Okay, well, is that cheaper? No, that's more expensive than it's ever been. All right, well, a lot of illegal labor is used in the construction of homes. Are they cheaper? No, that's more expensive than it's ever been. So the reality is, all of this labor that's being utilized by these corporate entities, all of it is increasing the value to shareholders, investors, owners. None of it's trickling out. Certainly not to their workers, certainly not to, and it's not trickling out really to the consumers, except you can go, well, Walmart, you can get a cheap shirt. Now then go DoorDash, though, because that's the only job left. Oh, you're not a venture capitalist? All you can do is DoorDash. You can't build a society like this, and again, you have to figure out a way to say, honestly, that this has resulted in the immiseration of certain groups in America. Specifically, people that were born here that aren't college educated, that aren't venture capitalists, that aren't making money on OnlyFans, that are living in employment, in deserts of opportunity and all these other places where they can't just get a job. All of their jobs got shipped overseas. And in a lot of the industries that they would be able to work in, they've been replaced by people that are making a lot less money. If illegal immigrants were coming here and demanding the same amount of money, it wouldn't happen. The Koch brothers were the largest proponents of immigration. They're genuine billionaire libertarians. The reason they lived for many years in 740 Park Avenue, a building in Manhattan with zero diversity. There were more billionaires living in that building than any other. It's where Rockefeller used to live. These are not fans of diversity. They're fans of low-wage labor. And that's not to say that the people that came here have done anything wrong or that they should be willy-nilly thrown in the back of vans. I don't believe that. I think it's inhumane and barbaric. But we do have to look at the actual issue. You're going to zoom out for a little bit and say there is a reason that the country has gotten addicted to having a group of people here that they do not have to pay, that cannot be unionized, that don't have power. And all of these corporate entities and a lot of wealthy people benefit from having maids, chefs, landscapers, nannies, people to do their nails. And those people, you know, they don't want to pay American wages. And these companies don't want to pay American wages. So this is going to be it's not only in America that this is an issue. It's all over the world, the economic migration, because it's what it is. It's not everybody coming in because they have an issue they're in a refugee position. Some people are refugees, genuinely, and people's hearts go out to them. But a lot of it's economic migration. And why wouldn't it be? People coming to make money and to have better lives. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's only so many people that can be assimilated into any economic, political, and social environment at any time without causing these rifts and without letting those rifts be exploited by billionaires, multimillionaires, business owners, corporations that come in and hire people and pay them almost no money, and 8 or 10 of them live in a house and exploit them. And this shouldn't be a partisan issue. Barack Obama and Bill Clinton were both on the same page that American workers should get priority. That doesn't mean that these raids are good or that they will serve that goal long term. I think they'll just turn people off. I can't imagine that people are going to tolerate this. You can't even look at these things. It's the same thing with the Gaza stuff. It's like Israel. You think people are just going to look at 6-year-olds exploding and think it's a great idea? I don't think people are going to be able to look at 6-year-olds being put in handcuffs and put in police cars and sent to Guantanamo Bay. But the problem is everyone on every side of every issue in this country is so completely insane that having a rational discussion with anyone about anything is almost pointless. I'm just grateful that Israel is doing what I needed, which is getting rid of the government of Iran, which is my biggest problem personally. It is my biggest problem. It's a pet peeve. I was on like a coffee date the other day, and the guy said to me, what are your pet peeves? And I go, the government of Iran. That's what I mean, what else? What else could be a problem but the government of Iran? What else would be an issue in this world except them that we haven't thought about in years, but we should be thinking about them? And they go, well, Iran wants a nuke. Well, why wouldn't they want a nuke? Why wouldn't they want a nuke? I'm not saying that they should have a nuke. It would be great if they had a nuke. But why wouldn't they? People think it makes them crazy to say, can you believe they want a nuke? Of course I can. Everyone around them's got nukes. Of course they want a nuke. Is it great if they have a nuke? No, it's not great that anyone has nukes. But the idea that they want a nuke seems like something you could understand. You could understand, well, they're religious fundamental. Yeah, but I see a lot of those. Get up Glenn Beck's tweet. Does this not sound like a religious fight? Get that Glenn Beck tweet come up. Now that we're discussing religious fundamentalism. Heavenly Father, I mean, go down to the one that starts with Heavenly Father. Yeah, that one. Go up. Make that bigger. Heavenly Father, please protect Israel and her people, your chosen people. Forgive them and guide them as they strike at the head of the snake. We pray that you spare innocent lives and provide swift justice for those who forsake your name. We pray in Jesus' name, amen. Well, there we go. No religious fundamentalism there. That seems like a rational thing. Because that's what it all comes down to. They don't believe the people in Iran are people. So just get rid of it. It's the head of the snake. So if the decapitating the government's the head of the snake, then the civilians are just the rest of the snake. Just light them on fire. Blow them up. Who cares? Doesn't matter. People in Gaza, blow them up. You have Smoke Rich coming out and going, yep, they're all fucking the children of Satan or whatever they call them. It's not Nephilim. That's the fucking Anunnaki people. Whatever they got, Amalek or whatever it is. These are the children of Satan. We got to kill them. You got to get, and then people in their houses while their kids are in the pool and their wife is making a cocktail, write an article about this and we think, it's the idea that, and there's a campaign of airstrike, and we can see the power dynamic shifting in the middle, and they're writing all these articles, and then it's just, and people are under rubble, and no one cares, and it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, fully, and has been since I've, been alive. It's the same people out there. It's the same arguments. There's nothing new under the sun. They're coming to kill you. You better do it. Putin's invading everywhere. Iran's going to get the nuke. And then Colorado, they're wiping Aspen off the map. Meanwhile, all of the other problems are ignored. There's nobody cares about an epidemic of drugs, lack of employment, people's lives totally being hollowed out by aspects of globalization. No one cares about any of that. Nobody treats any of those like national security threats. The only national security threats are these imaginary ones that people come up with in rooms under the Pentagon. Those are the only threats that we have. The fact that you could drive through 10 American cities I can name, and at night they're desolate and there's just meth zombies wandering around. No one feels like that's a problem. Everyone's cool with that. No one will bring that up. Everyone thinks that's kind of fun. Fine. Good. Whatever. That's the way it is. Things are different. Things have changed. Well, it's remote work or what it is. Is that what it is? Is that why everyone's running around like a fucking zombies from the Last of Us? Is because of remote work? Is that it? No one cares about any of the only threats. There's no one internal that's ever a threat. No one's ever doing anything wrong. Iran's trying to kill Trump. Remember that? Iran's doing it. Russia's doing it. It's never us. Those 19 intelligence agencies are always good. They're always doing good things. You don't know what half of them are. 3/4 of them, and I'm educated. I have no idea what the fuck they do, but it's good. Don't worry about it. USAID's always good. We're handing out cups of water in Africa. That's what we're doing. Really? Is that what we're doing? Shut up. Is that really what we're doing? There seems like many reports that we're doing other things. Shut up, shut up. It's good. We're helping. Yes, are we helping some people? I'm sure we are helping some people. But there are no problems internally with anybody, by the way. Everyone's good internally. Everyone's good internally. All of these people that run the CIA and MI6 and the Mossad and the Saudi intelligence, they're all good. They're all good, and they're all defending you all the time. You heard this woman, this conservative leader in the UK, where people are getting stabbed with katanas. It's Iran doing it. That's because of Iran that your kid got stabbed in the street. It's Iran. The grooming gangs that people say aren't happening, Iran. All the instability all over the way, it's Iran. God, they're good, huh? This Iran, they're amazing. It's just Iran. In Russia, it's all these imaginary, it's all these, and then people go, well, do you want to live in Russia? Do you want to live in Russia? You like Iran? You're a fan of Russia? Blah, blah, blah. God, I'm old enough to remember this. So you think Saddam Hussein is good? You think the Taliban's good? You're on the side of the Taliban? What? What the fuck? Afghanistan is a 7th century prehistoric village of warlords. What the fuck do we have any business figuring out what the hell's going to make that work? But I remember if you said that, you were called a traitor by me, by coked up me in high school and early college who thought you didn't understand that our way of life was better. Our way of life is better, but it's our way of life. And it's not our business to go around the world giving it to people. You know, here's one reason. They don't like it. They don't like it when you show up with a bunch of guns and you bomb them all and kill all of them. The rest of them don't fall in line. Isn't that interesting? That when you kill half of the building, the other half doesn't go, well, I've realized the error of my ways. They don't thank you. We go around the world and wondering why people don't thank us for blowing them up. That's literally American foreign policy. We blow people up and then go, what's your problem? And then we open our borders and come over here and they either like commit terrorism or do whatever. They hate us. And we go, why do they hate? They're not patriotic. They come over here. We blew them all up. So it seems to be a logical fallacy that this works. Hopefully cooler heads prevail here. Trump literally just told Dana Bash, she's like, I can't negotiate with the people anymore because they're dead. The Iranians he was negotiating with are dead now. And then she goes, well, did Israel kill them? He goes, well, they didn't die of COVID. I mean, he is funny, but so they're still trying to negotiate in a hot war with missiles going back. This is how unserious this all is. Trump's like, well, we'll see if we can negotiate with them. Thank God for Iran. Thank God for Iran, because who would we bomb? We need to get bomb someone. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do? Let's say that they replace Iran with a pro-Western regime somehow. God only knows how, but somehow. Who's next? Someone's next. You'll just start hearing about how dangerous Lebanon is. Lebanon. When it comes to spending, sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind. That daily coffee habit, those streaming subscriptions, they add up fast without you even noticing. Rocket Money helps you spot those patterns so you can do something about them and keep more money in your pocket. With prices going up on just about everything lately, being smart with your money isn't just a good idea, it's essential. But managing subscriptions, tracking spending, and cutting costs can feel overwhelming. Lucky for you, Rocket Money takes the guesswork out of it so you can easily make smart decisions. Smart money moves are all about getting more out of every dollar. With Rocket Money, you can easily find forgotten subscriptions. You have them negotiate bills for you, putting money back in your pocket. With all those savings, Rocket Money practically pays for itself. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Tim, T-I-M. That's rocketmoney.com/TIM, rocketmoney.com/TIM. Is Trump's military parade this Saturday? Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
So we got the military parade. We got the massive protests. This is like we're engineering a civil war here.
And it's his birthday.
And we have Israel in a hot war with Iran. We have their issue with Gaza, and then we have Russia, Ukraine. I've never seen so many things go so wrong so quickly. I really haven't. I mean, it's really a complete insane pivot for an anti-war candidate to go, we'll get involved in this war at the behest of Israel, or if they want us to, or we'll just get involved and we're going to have a big military parade. It just, to me, I'm confused. Everyone I know is confused. Again, I said it before. If you're not confused, you're paid. Go get your money. No shade. Go get that money. Money's green. I don't take you seriously, and no one does. No, we know you're lying, and no, we know how bad it all. When you're out there going, Palantir, good, and I think that, and we know it's okay. It's okay, but we all know, it doesn't seem natural. The words coming out of the mouth are not natural. blah, 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 blah. And I would say that it is important for the security of the and blah, and that we must, and the nation. Yeah, we get it. It's fine. Take the money. It doesn't matter. Who cares? And if you're doing it without the money and no one's paying you, then ask for money. Half of these people. Go ask for money. People have money. Go get the money. That's the reality. But I'm just a little confused as to why this is a great idea. That we're destabilizing this region right now. A region that it's like, it's always a problem. This is like a hornet's nest. The Middle East is always a problem. And if you deviate from the course, and the course is war, you're just called every name in the book, and people are just, Doesn't make any sense to me, but who cares? No one cares. Kevin Costner sued by Horizon 2 stunt double over rape scene she says was unscripted and violent. Well, Kevin Costner has been sued by a stunt performer from the set of Horizon 2 who claimed she was put in an unscripted rape scene without warning or proper filming safety protocols. Devin LaBella filed the lawsuit Tuesday in a Los Angeles County Superior Court against the Horizon series production company, alleging sexual harassment, hostile work environment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The violent, unscripted, unscheduled rape scene. Wait a minute, hold on. What do you mean unscheduled, unscripted, like you didn't know it was and unfolded during filming in Utah? LaBella said filming the scene filled her with shame, upended her career, and left her reeling with permanent trauma. What? Marty Singer, an attorney for Costner, said in a statement that LaBella's claim has absolutely no merit and is completely contradicted by her own actions. As a stunt performer on Horizon 2, the scene in question was explained to Miss LaBella after she performed the rehearsal in character with another actor. She gave her stunt coordinator supervisor a thumbs up and indicated her willingness to then shoot the scene. It's interesting to say, I'm a stunt actor, and they go, what are you doing? You're like hanging off a cliff. You go, no, I'm getting raped by Kevin Costner. It's a very interesting, I'm a stunt actor. I'm going to get raped by Kevin Costner in the rap. By the way, you can get raped by worse people, by the way. Well, that movie Horizon sucked. That was a big bomb. Nobody wants to get raped in a bomb. If she got raped on Yellowstone, it would be okay. But she got stunt raped on Horizon, which was a big waste of money and everybody's time. Nobody wants to get stunt raped on Horizon. You want to get stunt raped on Yellowstone. Interesting. Due to the ad hoc and violent nature of the sudden script change request, along with the failure to secure a contractually required intimacy coordinator for the scene, Ms. Hunt became visibly upset and walked off set, refusing to do the scene. LaBella was unaware that Hunt had left, and Costner asked her to stand in for Hunt to line up a shot. She might get a couple of shekels for this. She might get a couple of bucks. She might get a couple of bucks. She might get a couple of shekels. And why not? And why not? She was not warned about the sexual nature of the scene, which she learned about when Ivins was ready on top of her in a wagon and violently pulled up her skirt. The complaint said added Costner was fully in charge of directing. Well, you know. What are you going to do? Give her a couple of bucks. Hit her with a couple. Hit her off with a couple of bucks here. What am I going to, you know? Tell her Iran did it. Say Iran did it. That's what happened. Sorry. That's what I'd say as Kevin Costner. It's Iran. Sorry. Qatar funded this whole thing. Sue them. TimDillonComedy.com. We'll have dates on sale, I think, on Monday for some clubs to work on a new hour before we hit theaters and stuff next year. But, you know, let's hope here that we can move forward and that this isn't our final episode because we're in some nuclear Armageddon. We don't want that. But it is just funny. It's just real. It doesn't matter who's in there. It just really doesn't matter who's in there. War is the business. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. So anybody that gets overly invested in politics, like, I get it, I guess, if your like daughter lost her swim race to a guy with a cock or something, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know, but when you get overly invested in politics, I've been on this beat for a minute. You just have to sit back and laugh. That's why I make fun of it all, because like, it's just going to be what it'll be here. There's not, what do you think's going to happen? It's just going to be what it's going to be. Nothing really, there's nothing to do. Hopefully they can calm this fucking thing down. But then it'll be something else. Because those boomer Fox News retards are, you can easily get those people riled up. You can easily get them riled up. It's not it's not hard. These are the same type of people that fly American flags, you know, and they're like, I'll fly my flag. You goddamn you don't like my flag. And it's like, no one doesn't like your flag. No one's telling you no one's saying to not fly the flag. They live in like a cul-de-sac on Long Island. They think people are trying to take their flag down. Oh, nobody better tell me about my flag. If you come over and tell me to stop flying my flag, we're gonna have a real problem. Who's doing that? No one's doing that. No one's telling you to stop flying your flag. These are the people that are always ready, no matter what. No matter what, where the war is. They're into it. They watch it. They watch it on TV. They eat. They order pizza, and they sit in their chair, and then they watch the killing. And that's what this country really is. That's what it really is down deep. You can say it, the enduring image of this country will not be us fighting D-Day, by the way. That's a nice thought. The enduring image of this country will be a fat guy in a chair eating pizza and watching people get killed. That's just what it is, and saying it's good. The enduring image of this country is a fat guy in a lazy boy recliner eating a garlic knot, watching murder and death, and then right away justifying it and saying it's good. It doesn't matter. That's the enduring image of the country. Get your nice pizza. It's nice and hot, still cheesy. You sit in your chair, you turn on the TV, and we're either funding it or we're involved but you don't really know. All you know is that somewhere in a place you've never been and never wanted to go, there's mass death, and you watch it, and you eat. And you eat, and then you have heartburn, and you take a Tums, and you chew on it 3 or 4 Tums to keep the stomach acid down, and then you watch more death. And that's what this country's become. It's become a country of suburban lunatics, okay, who are mentally ill, drug addict, food poisoned, paranoid psychopaths. Technology and Fox News and MSNBC and cable news, it's broiled their brain. They have absolutely no decision-making capability. They don't have any relationship with their children outside of a perfunctory, hello, how are you? Most of their children don't want them near their grandkids. They're mentally ill people who long for death and destruction because they're about to die. And they want the world to end because to make a point. They want the world to end to make a point. And these people are sitting in gross Tuscan-themed kitchens in every suburb in America with a fucking home is where the heart is or a live, laugh, love shit on their thing, and they're eating and drinking and watching the genocide. That is the show they're always watching. They're always watching that. They're always watching mass murder, and they'll never get enough. They will never get enough of it. They will never. They are always ready for. They are bloodthirsty people. That's what America has become. It's become a suburban hellscape of people who long to watch other people get murdered, and they convince themselves that they are somehow doing good. That they're, I mean, it's the most amazing thing to have witnessed, to have been around, to have lived in these homes. It's just, it will never, they don't care. It doesn't matter. If someone's getting bombed, things are good. People should be, it should be a war all the time, and they're proud, Oh, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Like, it's all they want. They've never served in the military, or they served in it for 10 minutes. They've never seen conflict. They've never been in a bar fight, half of them, but they just know that every war is good, and they have a lot of pride in war. They love it, and they like it, and that's what our country has really become. It's become just a nation of fat cowards, a nation of people who would never themselves fight any battle. They believe in that. These people don't believe in anything enough. They would sacrifice their own children to survive. Listen to what I'm telling you. They would sacrifice their own children to survive. These men would throw their wife in front of a wolf if they could get to their car. They would throw their daughter in front of a bear so they could get to their car. They will sacrifice their own children to survive. They will sacrifice their own children to survive. They will poison their best friend. They will have sex with his wife. They will sacrifice their own children to survive. They are thieves. They are liars. They are degenerates of the highest order. They believe in nothing except eating and consuming and going on cruises. And they just sit around these shitty Long Island fucking death houses. They never die. They're riddled with 10 cancers. They won't go anywhere. They constantly complain about traffic, and they sit at home and watch death. That's all they want. They want our military in every war killing everybody. That's all they want. And those are the people who run everything. Those are the voters. Good luck.